Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
Hi everybody, I am Shane, and today we're looking at part 2 of Nailed It, a history of manicures.
That's right, and they are so expensive. If you're going to a real nail salon, if you really want to get them done with the design and the jewels, they're so pricey. I think you probably have to spend thousands of dollars.
But I know a lot of people just do it at home. Like you can go to just like a drugstore or something and buy like just fake nails, right? Like
That's true.
Like acrylic. Like acrylic nails, and then you stick them on yourself.
I've seen different kinds. I've seen the acrylic kind. I've also seen the sticker kind where you can kind of just like, stick on your own nails.
Oh, so if you've already grown your nail, then you can put stickers on top of it, right?
Exactly,
Okay,
and then you can have the cool design on your nails. But I don't think they last for a very long time.
Yeah, like I know my wife, like I said, she does her toenails. And she does them pretty fancy. Sometimes she'll put the stickers and she'll even like glue on little beads or jewels.
Really? By herself?
Things like that. Yeah, she does it by herself. And it's like she likes for her toes to look pretty because she normally wears sandals. So she wants to show off her toes, although she doesn't do anything with her nails. I don't know why. But anyway, they usually last like a week before something falls off.
That's true.
You know, either like the tape starts to come off or like one of the jewels or something like that.
But that sounds like a really good idea though. Maybe I should watch some YouTube videos on how to make, or do nail art at home. Maybe they'll give me some good tips.
They can give you tips on probably how to make them last longer as well.
Without spending thousands of dollars.
Right. Okay, let's get into part 2. Nailed it, a history of manicures.
The manicure that we know today began to appear in the 1800s after a European foot doctor who was named Dr. Sitz invented special tools and methods for cleaning nails. Later, Dr. Sitz's niece went on to teach his techniques to others. These techniques would form the basis of the modern manicure. However, colorful nail paint was still not widely available at the beginning of the 20th century. That changed in 1932. In that year, Revlon released a new nail polish that was sold in drugstores. This meant that lots of people now had access to nail art.
All right, so we're looking at part 2 of Nailed It, a history of manicures. Let's continue the reading.
All right. The manicure that we know today began to appear in the 1800s after a European foot doctor who was named Dr. Sitz invented special tools and methods for cleaning nails.
Okay, and this is a little fact here. If you say in the 1800s, you could also say in the 19th century. There's 2 ways to, when we're describing a century from the past, you can either say like the 19th century or 1800s, or you say the 20th century or the 1900s. Yeah, okay. We have a vocabulary word, invent, which is a verb. It just means to produce or design something that has not existed before. So for example, the telephone was invented in the 19th century. My grandfather was actually an inventor.
You're kidding!
Yeah, he loved to invent things, and he actually invented something called the roll-a-log.
What's that?
So it's for fireplaces rather than using wood. My grandfather, this was probably, 40 years ago. And he was quite ahead of his time. He thought about, well, the paper that we use, newspapers and stuff like that, we just throw that away.
Yes.
And he thought that's such a waste. And he created a machine that you could roll your newspaper into a log.
Okay.
And then you could use that in your fireplace rather than wood.
Wow! So clever.
Yeah, it never really made it very far, but I remember I was part of the advertisement for it. It was pretty cool.
No way!
Yeah, it's like a young little Shane there with this little roll-along machine.
Oh, you have to show me if I can still find the commercial,
If I can find,
the ad.
well, I can find the picture, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so continuing, later, Dr. Sitz's niece went on to teach his techniques to others. These techniques would form the basis of the modern manicure.
That's right. So oftentimes when we think about manicure, a lot of people think about maybe just designing the nails. You think about the colors, but actually a really big part of getting a manicure is also cleaning your nails, right?
And doing the part where your nail meets your skin here is called the cuticle. And they will also kind of clean those up and basically polish your nails.
Exactly. So there's actually a lot of steps needed in order to get a manicure. It's not just the nail polish.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking about this word here, technique, and that is a noun. So technique is a way of doing something by using special knowledge or skill. For example, my aunt has a special technique for cutting apples. Oh, maybe like a really special technique, a special way of cutting apples where you can make it look really pretty or very cute or like a bite-sized.
Right. So you say aunt, right?
Yeah.
You can also say aunt.
Oh, that's right.
Aunt or aunt. I actually say aunt too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people do say aunt.
Okay, well, let's continue. However, colorful nail paint was still not widely available at the beginning of the 20th century.
Or the
before then-
1900s.
That's right. So before then, it was kind of just like using the tools to clean your nails, right? And polish them.
Okay, that changed in 1932.
Ooh.
In that year, Revlon released a new nail polish that was sold in drugstores. And Revlon is still a brand that is quite popular even to this day.
That's right.
This meant that lots of people now had access to nail art.
Exactly.
So just like now, you can just go into a drugstore and buy, nail polish, and you can buy art and things to decorate your nails.
It's very easy to buy nail polish everywhere. And many companies, they have these items, right? So you can go to the drugstore, find your favorite color, and sometimes you can buy them at a cheap price.
Yeah. All right, well, I take a short break and we'll be right back.
All right. Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课程要来看看比较近代的美甲历史发展。课文提到，我们今天所知道的美甲是从14世纪开始的，有一名欧洲的足科医生发明了清洁指甲的专门工具和方法。那后来这位医生的侄女继续向其他人来传授这些技法。那这些技法就构成了现代美甲的基础。不过呢，彩色指甲油在20世纪初还没有被普遍使用，是直到1932年，美妆品牌露华浓推出了一款在药妆店贩售的新指甲油。那这就意味着许多人都可以接触到美甲艺术了。好，单字 invent。Invent 是动词，表示发明、创造，在后面加上 or 变成 inventor， 那就是发明者、创造者。再来 technique， 它是指技法、技能或是技巧。那补充一下，刚刚老师们有提到 cuticle， cuticle，cuticle 它是指表皮、角质层。好，这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是 go on to 加上原形动词，可以表达接着去做某事。其中的 go on 表示继续，那么 go on to 加上原形动词就可以表达在完成某件事之后，继续接着去做另一件事。例如 After graduation, she went on to become a journalist. 毕业后，她成了一名新闻记者。那第二个重点是 have access to 名词，这是表达有办法使用、接触到什么什么。access 在这边当名词，指的是使用或者是取得什么的机会或方法，或者是指使用权。注意，它是不可数名词。例如 I don't have access to those documents. 我无权取得那些文件，我没办法取得那些文件。好，那么接回课文中。
Nail art trends continued to change in the following decades, and different colors and styles were often associated with different races and classes. For example, many of the colorful designs and acrylic nail shapes that are popular today were first created by African American women in the 1980s. These became fashionable again thanks to social media trends and celebrities like Cardi B. After thousands of years, this unique fashion continues to allow people to express themselves through color and art.
Welcome back, everybody. So before the break, we were learning a little bit about the history of manicures and when we started painting our nails. And it was Dr. Sitz, who was actually a foot doctor. He developed special tools and stuff for cleaning the nails, right? And it was his daughter niece who went on and then taught these techniques to other people, and that was kind of like how manicures sort of began. But colorful nails didn't really happen until like the 1930s with Revlon introducing them to drug stores, and that's when people really started painting their nails and like how we do these days.
Exactly. So let's continue. Nail art trends continued to change in the following decades. And different colors and styles were often associated with different races and classes. Oh, okay. So people would use different colors to represent different races or classes or different styles.
Okay,
we're looking at this word here, a decade, and that is a noun. Basically, a decade is a period of 10 years. So for example, you could say Patrick was born over 3 decades ago.
Oh, I know. 30 years.
Over 30 years ago, exactly.
I'm so good at math.
Exactly, that's good, okay.
Okay, continue. For example, many of the colorful designs and acrylic nail shapes that are popular today were first created by African American women in the 1980s.
Wow, okay, I really didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Okay, and these became fashionable again thanks to social media trends and celebrities like Cardi B.
Oh, wow. Okay, so acrylic is a kind of a plastic, fabric, fiber, or paint that's made from acrylic acid.
Okay, and we're also looking at this word here, celebrity. So a celebrity is a famous person who you might see on TV.
Or hear them on the radio, like Cardi B.
Exactly, like anyone that is famous, right?
And we have a vocabulary word, fashionable, which is an adjective. That just means following a style that is popular at a particular time. So, for example, you could say, these days, hats are not as fashionable as they used to be. That is quite true, though.
Well, I guess so, but I still see quite a few people wearing hats.
Yeah, but they're
not as common.
Maybe it's not as common as it used to be. There was a time when men used to always wear hats. Like, in my imagination, like I think back to like the 20s and 30s, and I think men just constantly wore hats.
True, and in different styles of hats, right? Okay, and we're looking at this word here, media, and that is a noun. Media is used to pass on information to many people in a society, and this information is generally used to inform, to educate, or entertain. And different types of media include like television, radio, newspaper, magazines, and until today we have our internet, right?
Yeah, which replaces everything.
That's right. Okay, so for example, you could say the war has been covered a lot in the media. Maybe you can see the information of the war, some facts in the news.
Okay, continuing. After thousands of years, this unique fashion continues to allow people to express themselves through color and art.
Although I don't really get a manicure, I don't paint my fingernails very often, but I do paint my toenails. You know, it is fun.
And you paint your face.
put on makeup. Okay, we're looking at this right here, unique, and that is an adjective. When you describe something as unique, it just means being the only one of its kind, like very, very special. And usually it's used in a really positive way.
You are very unique.
Thank you. And you are very unique yourself.
Thank you.
So for example, we could say the author has a unique writing style, not like the other authors.
Right, okay. We have a what do you think question.
Okay.
Ooh, so why do you think women are more likely to have their nails decorated than men?
Because men are lazy. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, but I do think women, they are more interested in, spending the time to make themselves look pretty, get their hair done, putting on makeup, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think women are more interested in nail art because they're more superficial than men. Men care about what's on the inside.
Really?
We care about making our hearts and our minds more beautiful. And women, all you care about is just your appearance.
That is not true because we care about our appearance and the inside. We care about the inside and the outside.
Yeah, I think it just comes really down to just culture.
Yeah.
So I think in different times, maybe men painted their nails more than women. Like we mentioned, like back in the day, they used to paint their nails to go to war. So it probably just depends. I think it's just because of fashion.
Okay, I guess so. Not because you guys are lazy. I was just joking about that.
I wasn't joking that women are more superficial.
But anyways, we had so much fun learning about nail art, getting a manicure, and the history of manicure. And this is all the time we have for today.
Aww.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
课文提到，在接下来的几十年，美甲艺术潮流持续变化，不同的颜色风格常常会跟不同的种族和阶级联系在一起。那像现在流行的许多色彩缤纷的设计和水晶指甲造型，最初是由1980年代非裔美国女性所创的。那多亏了社群媒体潮流，还有一些名人，这些呢又再次的流行起来。我们看了这2天课文就可以发现，其实经过了几千年，人们都还是持续透过这种独特的美甲时尚来表达自我。好，那我们来看单字 decade， 它是指10年，是个名词。Fashionable 则是形容词，形容流行的、时髦的。Media 它是指媒体、大众传播媒介。Social media 就可以指社群媒体。然后是 unique， 它是形容词，形容独特的、独一无二的。好，那补充一下文中的 acrylic nail， 它是指水晶指甲，其中的 acrylic 它是形容亚克力制成的。那么 Shane 老师在讲解亚克力时，他有提到塑料啊、颜料，还有织物纤维。那老师说的 fabric F-A-B-R-I-C fabric 表示织物、布料 ，fiber F-I-B-E-R 则是指纤维。另外，老师们在回答这个 What do you think question 的时候，有互相开玩笑，一个说男生比较懒得打扮，一个说女生比较肤浅，只注重外表。那我们补充一下 superficial 这个字 ，super 再加上 F-I-C-I-A-L superficial 就是肤浅的、表面的。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 associate A with B， 表示使 A 与 B 有关联，把 A 和 B 联想起来。这个动词 associate 或是念作 associate， 它表示联想、联系。那么被动用法会是 A be associated with B， 来指说 A 与 B 相关 ，A 与 B 被联想在一起。例如 ，Cherry blossoms are often associated with Japan， 樱花常让人联想到日本。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
The manicure that we know today began to appear in the 1800s after a European foot doctor who was named Dr. Sitz invented special tools and methods for cleaning nails. Later, Dr. Sitz's niece went on to teach his techniques to others. These techniques would form the basis of the modern manicure. However, colorful nail paint was still not widely available at the beginning of the 20th century. That changed in 1932. In that year, Revlon released a new nail polish that was sold in drugstores. This meant that lots of people now had access to nail art. Nail art trends continued to change in the following decades, and different colors and styles were often associated with different races and classes. For example, many of the colorful designs and acrylic nail shapes that are popular today were first created by African American women in the 1980s. These became fashionable again thanks to social media trends and celebrities like Cardi B. After thousands of years, this unique fashion continues to allow people to express themselves through color and art.
This is no picnic, is it?
Well, no, we're not having a picnic. We're hiking.
No, I meant this hiking trail is so tough. This hill is so steep.
Oh, got it. You're right. This is no picnic. Let's take it slow and steady.
Hi everyone! Today's idiom is no picnic.
Yes, and it's not always about an actual picnic.
Exactly. The phrase no picnic is used when something is difficult or unpleasant.
Imagine having a picnic. It's usually an effortless and pleasant experience, isn't it? So when something is no picnic, it's quite the opposite. It's challenging and far from enjoyable.
Right. We often use this phrase to describe a task or situation that we find demanding or undesirable.
Do you have any example sentences?
So for example, you can say learning a new language is no picnic.
Or training for a marathon is no picnic.
Or if you're preparing for a major exam, you can say studying for this test is no picnic.
So remember, if something is no picnic, it's not easy. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. Just keep trying.
Absolutely. And that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.